Welcome back to this week's edition of the Risk Spotlight Operational Risk News Update. My name is Emily Jones, and today I'll be bringing you essential updates and insights from the world of operational risk, drawn from the past week. All information shared here is sourced from the Risk Spotlight portal, the premier forward-looking service dedicated to operational risk content. Let's get started. The first update is from a new report published by Global Relay on how compliance teams manage business communications. Investment banks are facing major challenges in getting their employees to comply with bans on using WhatsApp for business communication. Nearly two-thirds, 65.2% of compliance professionals cited getting staff to comply as their biggest hurdle when it comes to communication channels. This figure has risen from 61.5% in the previous year. The struggle stems from regulators in the UK and US cracking down on the use of unauthorized messaging apps like WhatsApp, slapping hefty fines on banks like Morgan Stanley, and censuring others like Wylands Bank. The US has been particularly aggressive in its enforcement actions, with the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, handing out nearly $2 billion in fines to dozens of banks, including JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, and Wells Fargo, since 2021. While some companies have responded by outright banning WhatsApp, with 43.5% of survey respondents doing so in 2024, the proportion is down from 59% in 2023, as only half believe an outright ban is an effective way to reduce compliance risk. Instead, more firms, 79.1%, are now using communication surveillance technology to monitor potential misconduct. The survey also revealed that just 7.8% of firms said they did not have a clear plan to tackle off-channel communication, compared with 25.6% last year. In the UK specifically, 31.3% of respondents said they were anticipating regulatory action and taking proactive steps, down 7.2% from the previous year. The next update highlights findings from recent study published by Splunk evaluating the costs of IT system downtime. The study covered downtimes from any service degradation or unavailability of critical business systems due to cyber attacks, technical failures, or operational issues as downtime. A key finding from this study is that downtime costs companies an average of $200 million annually, cutting a whopping 9% from their yearly profits. The study found that almost a quarter of the estimated $200 million cost, around $40 million, was due to lost revenue. Other major costs included regulatory fines, $22 million, service-level agreement penalties, $16 million, and legal costs, $15 million. Interestingly, the enterprises spent an average of $19 million on ransomware and data extortion payouts, although they had only budgeted $13.4 million for it. The leading cause of downtime was human error, such as software or infrastructure misconfigurations, identified as often or very often to blame by half of the respondents. Malware and phishing attacks were the next most frequent cause of cybersecurity-related downtime, while software failure was the next biggest cause of downtime related to IT operations. The study suggests investing in better visibility and cybersecurity tools to help avoid downtime. The next update highlights concerns raised by financial services executives at recent fintech gathering in Amsterdam regarding the increasing reliance on large vendors for AI services. The boom in AI is leading to an increased dependence of banks on big U.S. tech firms, creating new risks for the industry. The excitement around using AI in financial services, which is already widely used for detecting fraud and money laundering, has soared since the launch of OpenAI's viral chatbot ChatGPT in late 2022. However, the amount of computing power needed to develop AI capabilities is causing banks to rely more on a small number of tech providers. ING's Chief Analytics Officer, Bahadir Yilmaz, expressed concerns about this growing dependency, emphasizing that European banks need to ensure they can move between different tech providers and avoid what he called vendor lock-in. Britain has proposed rules to regulate financial firms' heavy reliance on external technology companies, such as Microsoft, Google, IBM, and Amazon, as regulators are worried that problems at a single cloud computing company could potentially bring down services across many financial institutions. Joanne Hannaford, who leads technology strategy at Deutsche Bank's corporate bank, noted that AI requires huge amounts of compute, and the only sensible way to access that computing power is from big tech. She added that there are requirements for the bank to notify regulators when they move data into the cloud, which could become much more complicated as the use of cloud computing increases. Banks also need to communicate to regulators the risk of not leveraging cloud computing's power, which would be an opportunity cost. The next update highlights the growing threat of AI poisoning attacks, where hackers manipulate the data or models used by AI systems to skew their outputs. While such attacks are still relatively rare, security experts predict they will become more common. Any organization using AI could potentially be targeted, whether through their own in-house models or third-party AI tools. Nation-states are considered a major risk due to their resources and capabilities. Motivations for these attacks include causing disruption, gaining access to proprietary data, or extortion. The primary targets are likely to be tech companies that develop and train AI systems, but the impact could ripple out to their customers. The next update highlights the cyber insurance industry in North America. It witnessed a record surge in claims during 2023, according to a report by insurance broker Marsh. They received over 1,800 cyber claim reports from clients in the US and Canada, the highest ever. This spike was attributed to factors like increasingly sophisticated cyber attacks, the massive MoveIt file transfer supply chain incident, privacy claims, and more organizations purchasing cyber insurance policies. Around 21% of Marsh's clients reported at least one cyber event in 2023, a slight increase from 18% in 2022. The healthcare industry consistently topped the list, accounting for 17% of all claims last year, followed by communications 16%, education 9%, retail wholesale 8%, and financial institutions 8%. Notably, cyber extortion incidents like ransomware attacks hit an all-time high, with 282 clients reporting such events, up from 172 in 2022. Median extortion payments skyrocketed from $335,000 in 2022 to a staggering $6.5 million in 2023, while median extortion demands by threat actors soared from $1.4 million to $20 million during the same period. Although extortion negotiations helped reduce the final ransom paid, the percentage of the median demand paid increased from 24% to 32%. Encouragingly, the percentage of companies that paid a ransom demand fell to 23% in 2023, down from 30% in 2022, continuing a downward trend from the higher levels seen in 2020 and 2021. The last update is from Santander, but can be relevant for other banks globally too. Santander recently issued a warning to its customers about circumventing fraud prevention measures related to Facebook Marketplace scams. The bank introduced new rules before Christmas to combat these scams, where customers are asked a series of questions when attempting to transfer money for a Facebook Marketplace purchase. If the customer admits to not having seen the item in person, the transaction is blocked. Between December 2023 and May 2024, Santander prevented nearly 1,900 customers from proceeding with Facebook Marketplace purchases after they admitted to not seeing the item in person. However, around 8,000 customers initially faced the same warning but confirmed they had seen the item, allowing the payment to go through. Alarmingly, 240 of those customers later reported falling victim to a scam. And there you have it, a whirlwind tour of last week's operational risk landscape. If you want to read more about the topics I have covered and review additional content on emerging operational risk topics, then please log into the RiskSpotlight portal if you are a subscriber, or go to RiskSpotlight.com to sign up for a free trial. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay safe and keep those risks in check.